lordy. So, this Thursday, yes, this Thursday, Velma begins. Velma. And Rotten Tomatoes, yeah, I have it up here. Nothing really out yet. But some of the reviews are starting to roll in. And honestly, they're not that good. I'm going to be fair. They're not the greatest, because you come over here to Entertainment. I guess this is, yeah, EW, Entertainment Weekly. Velma review. A promising reinvention is wasted on lame jokes, prequelities, and bad meta. You come over here to Yahoo. Velma review. The Scooby-Doo gang's adult animated origin story is one awkward zoinks. And from, you get IGN here. And yeah, I went through these. They're sites to behold. But Velma Season 1 review, Episode 8. Velma's biggest problem is herself. Well, actually, it's Mindy Kaling's biggest problem is herself. So, 3 reviews. That's not a lot, but these were the 3 that I could find at this time of recording. They don't seem to be liking it. And what a lot of these people... Well, these people, I'm not going to go into that. I'm trying to find a good example. I'm going through these real quick. Where is it? A lot of them, not lying, a lot of them compare it constantly to the Harley Quinn show and how the Harley Quinn show is better. They like to point out that throughout this whole thing, a lot of these articles do, and I'll give you some examples. It's not, Mindy Kaling is possibly the worst part of the show. That, hey, it's a good idea to reinvent these characters and do something new and diversity and equity and all this stuff, but it's all wasted on sex jokes, people wanting to bang each other. But the good part is they play around with your sexuality. Yeah. But well, we're going to jump around because each one of these little reviews have some interesting points to be said, like the Yahoo one. The Pinch. So it tells you, hey, revisited constantly 2019. Characters themselves haven't been changed that much since the 69 version, but, not that bad. You get down here. That's something carried through in the new HBO Max original story, Velma, featuring executive producer Mindy Kaling. No, it's Mindy Kaling's Animated Adventures. That's what we're calling it from now on. As the voice of the young gumshoe, who we meet as a social outcast at Crystal Cove High, haunted by the disappearance of her mother. Hey, not that bad. As Velma attempts to get answers as to what happened to her mother, though a bigger mystery at the school arises, one that Velma can't solve without some help from school slacker Norval, Sam Richardson, ex-BFF turned frenemy, Daphne, Constance Wu, and Fred Glenn Horton, who, by the way, I freaking called it. I called it because, hey, Norval, race change. Daphne, race change. Mindy Kaling is playing Mindy Kaling. Fred, the embodiment of white male privilege. Called it. Freaking called it. Oh God, why did I commit to watching the show? Why? I'm going to be watching this the same time I'm watching The Last of Us. Oh my God. I'm pulling your Rings of Power again. Oh Lord. Will any adults take Velma claims seriously? Will Fred manage to learn that inner beauty exists? Who will hook up with who in this complicated love quadrangle? There are just a few of the mysteries this show explores. So, like I pointed out, Harley Quinn has some notes. They all point out that, hey, Harley Quinn has some notes. Harley Quinn has some notes. There are plenty of genuine funny laughs and out loud moments. This prequel does give Velma and Daphne's relationship a chance to blossom, even if it isn't perfect. And even in this, they compare it to Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. But Why don't we read this part? For those hoping Velma would give the character space to explore her sexuality, given her recent ambiguous portrayal as a gay woman, the series does get this mostly right. It wasn't immediately obvious from early promotional clips, given Velma's initial crush on Fred. Velma and Daphne do ponder the implications of their relationship beyond the bounds of friendship and admit that there's much more to it than that. But this acknowledgement comes about without little more than a blink and you'll miss it moment in one episode. While the girls' romance does become a major component of the series as it goes on, Velma and Daphne's relationship gets less development than Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy's had before the pair became a couple in Harley Quinn animated series. At the very least, this prequel does give Velma and Daphne's relationship a chance to blossom, even if it isn't a perfect one. Called that too. I called both those things. I called Fred's gonna be the dumb white male privileged dude. I called, once you found out that, hey, Velma has a questionable sexuality. Not Velma. Daphne has a questionable sexuality and is a lesbian. When you see that, hey, Velma's interested in Fred, it becomes very obvious that, hey, it's not a love quadrangle. It's going to be a love triangle. Mindy Kaling likes Fred. Fred's with Daphne. Daphne wants to be with Mindy. And then they're all going to get together and it's going to be some boning romance. You get the verdict here. This show likely came about because of fans who have always wanted more for the teenage super solver. No, the show came out because Mindy Kaling wanted a Mindy Kaling show. Ironically, the series would be more exponentially better without its namesake, or at least a version of her with a bit more character growth. Yeah, the biggest problem they said was Velma. Mindy Kaling's the biggest problem for the show. Gave it a 6. I think it's a 6 out of 10. Okay. Velma's an often funny take on the classic Scooby-Doo series with plenty of risque humor. But it's unfortunate that most of what makes Velma funny is completely unrelated to the character who's getting a starring role. Oh, Mindy Kaling, they don't even like you in your own show. Oh, I'm laughing because this is so horrible. We come back here. The first season is really the pilot episode. The first season is the pilot. That doesn't bode well. Approach to plotting. The first 8 episodes provided for review begin piling mysteries on top of mysteries as Velma and pals investigate the secrets of their small town, which include the mysterious death of the school's hottest girls, and Daphne as an Asian girl being raised by her adopted mothers, attempting to find her biological parents. But it's hard to get invested in any of those mysteries being solved thanks to a too glib approach to the storytelling that mutes all real emotions. Though the series is aimed at adults, it feels a bit PG in comparison to other adult animation currently in the works, while simultaneously playing certain scenes like the writers think they're being super edgy. Yeah, it's, oh my freaking god. So, it's more PG, but the writers think they're smarter than they are. It's not that the show needs dozens of F-bombs or full frontal Shaggy to be interesting, but the only real adult material is found in the rampaging hormones of the show's teen characters. We all just want to bone. I love this because, where is it? There's this really funny takedown. It might be in the EW one. And because you're wondering, the show does actively explore the question mark that is Velma's sexuality without necessarily providing any concrete answers. Gay baiting. So they constantly point out, yeah, they gay bait. They gay bait. The main cast is equally strong, as race bending the iconic Hanna-Barbera characters doesn't change them on a fundamental level. Well, it kind of does when Velma is just Mindy Kaling. I'm going to just call this show the Mindy Kaling Animated Adventures. That's all it is. Kaling brings her natural snap to Kaling's Barbera. Wu's got just the right notes of snotty for Daphne. Horton is clueless in all the right ways as Fred. Dumb white privileged male. And Richardson managed to find his own clever spin on one of the most iconic cartoon characters of all times. But while this reimagined somehow manages to find glimmers of the tone established by the original 60s animated series, it never successfully connects to the viewer's innate nostalgia for what came before. Bam. The verdict. I hate this verdict from Yahoo because it's such a cop-out. Even if Velma was an unqualified success, it'd still be a hard to recommend, if only because the current climate of Warner Media doesn't offer up a lot of hope for future seasons. Even though, when was this article wrote? Even though, January 5th, I do believe just recently came out that they're not going to be canceling any more movies. No more canceling. They're not scrapping anything for a while. They have to make money. Excuse me. I don't know if this show's going to get a season 2. I hope it doesn't. But at the same time, I kind of do, because this is going to be a content gold. We go over to the EW version. Still, Velma dares to ask big, dumb questions. What if the Scooby Gang weren't meta jerks who want a bone? This is my origin story, says Velma, voiced by producer Mindy Kaling, at the start of the HBO Max reboot premiering Jan 12th. Oh God, Thursday. It's just Thursday. Oh God, this is gonna be a long week. The series flashes back to the high school prehistory of the greatest team of spooky mystery solvers ever, where they variously hated or barely acknowledged each other. It's a prequel that recasts diversely, reorientates sexuality, and over backstories generally. Oh, God. Velma is the new bland and deconstructed canonical bonanza pulled right off the corporate assembly line. It's so extra, it's minus. Ooh, that hurt. I don't remember which one it said it, but they said like one of the best parts of the show literally was just all the other high budget characters they have in. Like, I need to figure out where was that one, because that was I love that takedown. Harley Quinn has some notes. Not mad at the actors. The strongest elements of Velma as a series is certainly the casting, packed with heavy hitters like Stephen Root, Jim Rash, Jane Lynch, whatever, Wanda Sykes, Gary Cole. They care more about the high budget characters and cast than the actual cast. She exemplifies Kaling's brainy, thirsty persona, complaining about the patriarchal male gaze in the same episode where she has to subvert her best instincts to beg attractive classmates to muster all your sexiness and lure everyone away with a sexy dance. I'm going to hate watch the show, but I'm going to laugh my ass off. I see it now. A savvy kid investigating strange doings in a shadow town full of family secrets sounds like Riverdale for anyone who doesn't remember Veronica Mars. Get this little take. Velma plays out like any other prequel. Learn the secret origin of Velma's glasses. Learn the secret origin of why Velma says jinkies. The few fun ideas get buried under referential shenanigans. Normally, origin stories are all about tall, handsome... This is a line from the show. Normally, origin stories are all about tall, handsome guys struggling with the burden of being handed even more power, Velma narrates. And if they are about girls, it's usually like, hey, what made this hot chick go crazy? It's going to be SJW to the max. The Mindy Kaling animated adventures is going to be so awful, and I'm here for it. I don't care anymore. Final verdict, though, in the show. Whereas you get the feeling Kaling and Velma showrunner Charlie Grandy could have wedged any inoffensive IP into their way too late parody of a teen drama. In other words of the philosopher Rura, grade C. They all are giving it base, except for Yahoo, who basically copped out and actually suggesting it to anybody. They all gave it like middling scores. Like these are, it's okay. 6 out of 10. Grade C. Doesn't even actually give it a verdict. Rotten Tomatoes. The show comes out Thursday. Now, maybe by tomorrow, this will be updated. See, here, let's update it. Only 2 critic ratings right now. No, show's not out, so users can't rate it. Rotten Tomatoes still doesn't have a score up. Now, by tomorrow, it might change. By Tuesday, it might change. If there's no score up by Wednesday, we have a problem. I can't wait. Well, no, actually, I take that back. I don't want this show to come out. I'm not excited to sit down and watch this show and review it every week. At the same time, this looks like it's going to be so awful, it's going to be funny. And I'm kind of here for it. So with all that being said, guys, let me get your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out with your friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.